Hey everybody, Pastor Bill here. This is Fixing Things. Today is just going to be an informational day for you. Sometimes when you're working on these old things, especially like this F600 truck, my Mitsubishi tractor, S370, it's very hard to find parts, right? So, Pastor Bill, how do you find those parts? I've been looking everywhere and I can't find it. Well, the thing is, a lot of the parts are still available, but you're looking them up the wrong way. So if I look it up for an F600 truck, 1973, I'm not going to find nothing because the database doesn't go back that far. But a lot of the parts are still being manufactured and being rebuilt, and the engines are being used in other items that are still being serviced today. You might not find it by the truck. You may find it by the engine, because the engine is still in application in pieces of equipment and other such. So when it came to my General Lee tractor, right, the KE70 motor, the equipment is used in case, it's used in other things, and so you just got to find the Ibex tractor and some. So the tractor is a Mitsubishi tractor, but the KE70 engine is used in a lot of applications, right? So, for example, today, people are saying, I can't find the wheel bearings. So people are asking me, how are you going to find the wheel bearings and the drums and the brake shoes for that truck? Well, in commercial applications, you can't just go buy the brakes for a 1973 F600 because the F600 truck was a commercial truck and it was built to spec. So you can't buy brakes for the truck. You got to buy brakes for the brakes, if that makes sense. So the drums have a diameter, a maximum diameter for safety, and a minimum casting diameter, right? And also has the depth. So you order your brake shoes for the depth and the diameter. And you also need to know the rear end, what type of rear end. So in my truck, it's a F106 rear end, right? Well, you find out they're still using the F106 rear end today, right? And they're using Dayton wheels. Well, one of the things you can find out is the Isuzu is still using, it's not a Rockwell anymore, it's a Meteor rear end, but it's the F106 rear end in that truck still being in production today. And guess what? They use Dayton brakes on that truck. The drums are the same, the wheel lugs are the same, the brakes are the same, everything is the same on that truck, still in production today. Are you sure, Pastor Bill? No, I'm not 100% sure. But you find out when you start looking up those part numbers, they have a lot of different applications for them. And if you do your research good, you'll say, wow, this is the same part number for the one truck over here. Well, now you can start looking up parts for that truck. And when you start finding the things, you say, wow, there's actually a lot of parts for it. How did I find the water pump? I looked up the water pump for the F600 because it's a 359 engine, FT, not FE. It's an FT motor. It's a commercial truck motor, right? So when I started looking it up through that, it gave me a broader spectrum of water pumps. Not only that, you have to use the pictures. If it gives you a generic picture like on eBay or Amazon, don't buy it. You want to look at the product that you're buying. Because on mine, it came with 3 different style water passages that bypasses. And mine had the real big one, like it's an 1.25 inch nipple that's drove inside to the water pump. All right, so you also gotta look at the picture. Even though the casting of the water pump is the same, is the nipples on it the same? Right, because everybody's got nipples, right? My nipples may not be like your nipples. Nipples on the water pumps may not be the same. So you look at the pictures also, because that gives you. All right, so I'm going to be getting brand new seals for my truck. So when I went to look up seals, I also looked up, I got a chart that everything that was put on, it's a publication made by Ford of everything that goes on the truck. The problem is with the seals, there was 6 different seals for this truck. So what does that tell me? It means I got to get the seal out of it before I can order it. So on the seals, here it is. I took the seal out of it just about 10 minutes ago. And on the edge of the seal, I don't know if you can see it. Somewhere there. Yeah, right here. Focus, focus. There's part numbers written right on it. Right on the edge of the seal. And the good thing is you don't have to take the seal out to order it. This is the part that gets driven down, and the part number is on the visible part of the seal. So that's the part you look at. So you find that part number and look up that part. Now you can just Google that number and you'll see that that number will pop up on the Google thing, because this seal is still in production today. You'll find out it probably fits in a Isuzu NPR truck also. Why? Because it still uses the F106 rear end in that truck. It's got the same bolt pattern, the same everything, the same Dayton drums, everything. You got to do your research. So I'm getting ready to go in and order some brand new seals. Happy parts hunting. You'll find that on almost all your vehicles out there. A lot of the parts are still being manufactured today, and all you got to do is dig in and do your research. You may not be able to order it by the vehicle. You may have to order it by the engine, order it by the rear end, order it by the transmission. There's 50 different transmissions came in this truck. Not all of them is the transmission that's in my truck. So if I want a part for that transmission, I gotta get the data plate off of that transmission. See what I'm saying? Right? The information is on the parts. The information for the bearings. I was gonna order bearings, but the bearings in there are good. Matter of fact, I put these seals in. I put these seals in 30 years ago. I put the brakes in this truck 30 years ago. And then I sold the truck and it sat for 20 years. Now that I got the brakes back off of it because it was frozen, I want to put a brand new seal in it. I could do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Happy parts hunting. God bless each and every one of you.